Hello, everyone. How we doing tonight? Uh, Sorry, guys. Still changing some settings out here. I am doing good. Doing good. A little tired. Tired. Big week. Not a big trading week, at least for myself, but a big week with a lot of work, right? On days where I don't trade, I usually end up working more because I use that time to instead work on different things. So a lot of cool things coming for Rise, definitely. A lot of cool things coming for Rise Statistics as well. So definitely excited on that end. Yeah, exactly, Emil. That GIF is the perfect representation of how I feel tonight. So we got a little small crowd, right? These midweek analysis are not events that we usually host, but whenever there is, usually people are happy to see it. I saw a lot of gap on ES today. Is there a reason for that? I could give you a reason, and could it be proven? No. There could be a lot of reasons. Truth is, ES is just a little slower, so usually you'll see a little bit more of differences in pricing between closes and opens, right? What you attribute as gaps. And other than that, truth is, it's just been a low volatility day. Right, we'll look at this, and if we look at NASDAQ right now, and I see my stream bugging, and it is pissing me off. So let's go here. All right. So just by looking at NASDAQ, right, you can clearly tell that the PA this week has not been insane, right? And let me remove this midline. I was trying to do a highlight of some sort, and you can use TradingView's new thing to highlight stuff, but I really do hate it. But as we can see, clearly nothing special. So basically we opened the week, right? We had a bank holiday on Monday. We opened the week and all we did up to now is trade within that range. Now, ES on the other hand has been a bit cleaner, but it's been low volatility. It's been high resistance. So that does oftentimes lead to you seeing more gaps in price. ES looks a little more like a stocks chart at that point in time, right? We can clearly tell here Asian session, but even during New York, a lot of gappage today. Gappage, is that even a word? Anyways, definitely some clean movements today, but not the type of movements that we tend to see, which are very basically high volatility expansions, right? And this is what I want to focus on. Now, we had a very clear plan this week. Since we closed above here, we wanted to see upside delivery. Now, it's a little weird because NASDAQ has been consolidating. This is how I framed the week up till today. I framed this as consolidation. We formed a range and we're just trading within that range. So how am I going to interact? Well, we'll talk about this in a second. But first off, we're going to look at ES, which on the other hand has a very nice retracement into a fair value gap and expanded and reached an objective. Now, did it reach the final objective? Not at all for me, right? We talked about it during the weekly outlook that I was looking for everything at all-time highs, pretty much, right? If we make it simple and we simplify things, I'm looking at everything at all-time high. Now, will this happen this week? It does not need to, but I still expect it to. So what I'm going to be looking for going into tomorrow and Friday is a retracement into a range on NASDAQ to complete the same move. Wow, I never saw that happen, but to complete the same move that we did here on ES and then push to the upside. Now, will that happen in 2 days? Probably not. So what am I going to be focusing on? This move lower into a retracement to a discount. Now, if we draw a premium discount and always most recent range, what do we see? Well, this fair value gap is at equilibrium. It doesn't tell me much. The fact that we pretty much induced all-time highs here, so we were very close to reaching that liquidity above, tells me that we don't need to retrace all the way down to this order block, which would be our first discount in efficiency. So I do anticipate that this fair value gap will be respected. And as I always do, I tell you guys this, I use my quarters on a higher time frame fair value gap, and I basically split them all into 4 tiny fair value gaps. So I'm going to wait for the respective one and a setup to form for me to go long, and I do expect it to form around that midpoint, that consequent encroachment, but you never know with these things. So That's why I have two specific templates. But in this case, my levels for tomorrow will be these retracements lower. And of course, as always, when we're consolidating on the higher time frame, what do? Well, I interact specifically with intraday jaws on liquidity. So I'm going to be focusing on session frameworks for sure. I'm going to be focusing on news frameworks. Now that I finally have the analysis ready for Rise Statistics, I'm going to use it. It's not publicly available yet. So if you are a user, don't worry, it is coming soon. Looking at ES though, what does this tell me? Well, our objective has been met. Could we be due for a retracement? Yes, sure. So I would anticipate that we go down here, but I want to see some form of SMT form. So it would be textbook if we just see ES today trade lower to this level, while of course NASDAQ trades lower all the way down to this fair value gap, and then we can see a nice Friday expansion to the upside. That is goal number one. That is what I would love to see. Of course, London always basically clears these ideas. Sorry. So basically, if London forms a high probability low of day, so a low of day candidate, I want to see SMT at a key level and that low form during a key time. So for example, London session would be a great time to form the low of day. Then I'm going to anticipate upside right away, right? I'm not going to require us to trade down here, but this would be my textbook example, and we would form some form of SMT at this area. Now, it would be candle to candle SMT, which is just another way of saying lower time frame SMT. So definitely what I'm looking for. I don't anticipate that we'll trade all the way down, but just looking at this road to the upside here, we've had very aggressive pullback. So I'll be on the lookout for some tweets by Trump, very aggressive news events. I'll be ready for this since I know that the market is in a condition where it can react very aggressively to good and bad news. So it's a little weird to bring in those fundamental analysis, but this is what happens when I go on a higher time frame chart and price isn't clear. And price hasn't been clear now for, well, you know what? Let's actually look. For me, I've been confused since I saw this candle. So almost basically 3 weeks here that I've been more at a loss on price. And what do I do on those days? Well, as you guys see from the PA reviews, it doesn't mean you don't have successful setups. It just means that my higher time frame bias is less clear. So I like to refer to recent price action. Now, recent price action tells me that the target right now will go here. This is what data tells me. By the way, your bias analysis, your current day bias is previous day low. So I want to see us take out this level, mitigate this area, and expand higher. This is my goal, I guess, for the rest of the week. And that would result in some form of consolidation or high resistance move lower on ES, hopefully forming SMT to then expand to the upside. We went very quickly over this, so I am open to questions. As I said, I do understand that this is not something that I have much confidence in, right? I keep telling you guys, but just when price is like this, I like to refer to intraday timeframes, intraday frameworks. I like to refer to a London rate. I like to refer to the Asian session highs and lows. I like to refer to some lunch trades in the PM if I didn't get a good opportunity in the morning. There are a lot of opportunity for intraday price moves, and I'm not always going to catch a full trending day to the upside, right? Something like Thursday, for example, where we formed the low of day early and you could just catch that whole distribution higher. Do we have any questions about this plan? I like to do these midweek analysis when I don't trade early on in the week. And if you're wondering, I have posted it. You can find it under our resources in the Rise categories. We have our own Discord channel right there, and you can find all the information about how I interact with news and why I'm only starting to trade, well, technically today if I look at my chart, but tomorrow, which is Thursday. I don't see any questions. We were pretty straight to the point here. There's not much to talk about. We expanded higher. We show interest to continue higher, but we consolidated. So we first have to go rate the lows before we can rate the highs. And this is my area of interest to buy longs. Make sense? All right. Thank you, Alex. Code Ninja requested to speak. You know what? Get up here. How can I help? All right. I'm guessing that was a misclick then. All right. Well, you guys have a great night. Thank you for coming. Small crowd tonight, but a little bit of a surprise analysis. Good luck trading tomorrow, and we'll see each other anyways tomorrow night to review the price action from Thursday. Have a good one, guys.